Hiya, it's Amanda here from Lolli Lulu Crafts. Today we're making a birthday card for a man. It's going to be like a foliage based sort of card, so if you wanted to you could add some floral elements as well, or you could leave it as it is. I think either way it's going to work for both men and women perfectly fine. So I've got here some dies that I've used, so I will put on the screen as best I can what the products are, but also if you go across to the blog post there'll be a link underneath the video. If you're on YouTube, it will have links to the products used for you as well, and also it will have like photographs and stuff like that of the finished cards, so you'll get some really good close-ups of the card when it's done as well, so that's going to be worth taking a look at. However, what we've got here is we've got some Tim Holtz dies. As I said, specifics I will put on the screen as we go along. Some Spellbinders dies and this Alterations die. So what I did was I cut some stuff out in advance because you don't want to see me sitting there cutting through the machine. You know what it looks like to cut through on a die machine. So what I've done here is with the Happy Birthday from the Alterations die, I cut it out 4 times and then I used a glue pen and I literally just added the wet glue. It's just basically white glue coming out of a very fine nozzle, so I just added that across the top of the layers and gradually just added one on top of each other, stuck them together, and it's just basically making it almost like a chipboard type element piece. So that's that one, and then I cut a number of different pieces of the foliage from various different colours of cardstock from Stampin' Up, and I didn't exactly know what I wanted with regard to the foliage, so I just cut a selection from each, and then we may use them all, we may not, but they look really, really nice, I think, and the colours go really well together, so I was really pleased with how that turned out. So we've got all of these different pieces here as well. I also then prepped my card base using some Stampin' Up cardstock. Now what I will do as well is I'll put sizes of bits that I've cut out as relevant across the screen as well for you. So then I did on the inside, I did a piece of this lovely green, and then this is the same taupe colour as the Happy Birthday, so I put that for the inside as well, so that's to be stuck down in due course. Then I took a piece of this stenciling masking sort of sheet that comes on a roll, but you can have any kinds that you've got, and I cut that to make a little stencil piece to go in the middle here. You'll see what that's for in a minute. So that's all the stuff that I prepped in advance, just so that you didn't have to see me cutting things out. So let's start by popping these out the way, because we don't want that at the moment. I'm going to stick those down in due course, and we're going to stick our little stencil piece down. Now that stencil mask stuff comes on a roll, so I just stuck it onto a piece of scratch card, paper in fact, and then cut it to size just so that it would stay how I wanted it to be, and that just holds it fine then. And then we're going to just stick this down, making sure it's square. Okay, so that's our little stencil stuck down. Okay, so I just got my little stencil tool, and we're just going to dab, dab, dab. Okay. I think looking at this, it's going to be strong enough on its own, this colour. So we're just very lightly sort of blending it out to sort of nothing almost there. And the same down on the side here as well. There we go, I think that's pretty good. It looks slightly patchy, but I don't think that's a big deal. And then we're going to do the other corner. I'm going to open this up this time so that we don't accidentally go on the inside. So we've got just sort of a it sort of looks more patchy on the camera than it is, but it just blends through on those ends, and it doesn't matter if it is a little bit patchy because that's where we're going to be putting the foliage anyway, so it's not too much of a big deal if it is. Okay, so let's let that dry for a few minutes. So let's now just take the mask off. Try and grab a corner. There we go. There you go, doesn't that look nice? So the next thing I want to do is I want to actually put a line around the inside. Okay, so we're going to pop our ruler down because I want it to go to the actual edge of where the green is. So I need to just... Okay, and then we're going to turn it. I'm just going to wipe the ruler so that we don't accidentally put anything onto the green. And then we're going to go down this side. Okay, so there we've got our little box around our inner piece there. So now I'm just going to open that out while that dries, and I'm going to stick down our 2 pieces of card that are the inside, like so. So that's our inside done, and that's the outside. Okay, now I'm going to just flick a little bit of white. Oh my goodness, okay, a little bit more than I anticipated. It decided to come out absolutely everywhere. I was going to say, I flick a little bit of the white paint down. So I just put a bit onto a piece of paper here, and I'm just going to water it down quite a lot. So you want it really liquidy. And I also don't want it on the back of the card, so we'll just dry that off. Okay, so we've got a bit of watery paint on our brush, not too much. Take some off, and then literally from a height just flick. Now just be careful when you do it because it will go everywhere except for where you want it. There you go. And then we need to obviously let that dry. Now I'm just going to pop this back on. Doesn't have to be perfect, it's just that I don't really want it all on the centerpiece there. So I've got some of this lovely embossing powder, and then we're going to just pop. This is ultra thick, so it's quite nice, and we're just going to put little bobs of it. And again, it's just going to give it some little bit of just interest and texture going on. You can't probably see it too good on the camera, but hopefully you can see enough. Now what you don't want to do is blow this away, so you want to start sort of a little bit further away so it doesn't starts to melt. Okay, so hopefully you can just see that. It's just giving it a little bit of something extra on there. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is put the happy birthday in position, because I think that will be easiest to do that next. So we're just going to get that bit of scrap paper again to use so that we can put our glue on. I've got some wet glue here, nice and strong. And then we'll get our card. That looks about correct. Any bits you see, like stringy bits or whatever, if you can get rid of them now. Just using this fine brush. Okay. Let's just pop this bit of tissue over the top. Give it a little roll. Make sure it's stuck down, and the tissue should take a little bit of the excess glue if it's got any little bits sticking up. Okay, I'm not sure that was the best glue. I think that wasn't really, I think I should have used a white glue rather than that really sticky glue. So I've sort of done this, so we're going to gradually stick some pieces down. Okay, so I'm going to start with this bit here, and I've got a bit of glue on this, so I just want to be careful. I'm going to go down the middle. Okay. Now sometimes I take photos of the elements, you know, before I take them off, so that I can remember where I've positioned things, but I think for this it's not going to matter too much. I just want to make sure that's going to cover. I think that was how it was. It's not quite right. Come on, pick up. Grab it. That's it. Use a bit of tissue to push it down, because sometimes the glue sort of pops up a little bit, so if you use the tissue it just gets rid of any excess glue as well onto the tissue. And then again, just give that a good press. And just put this bit of tissue over the top, and like I often do, is just give it a bit of a roll. That will get any excess glue out, but also make sure that it's all nicely stuck down. There we go. Okay, so a lot of fiddling around, but I decided I wanted to layer it up a little bit. I just felt like it would look nice, so I'm going to use some of this gel glue to put some of these other pieces down. So I'm just taking a little bob of the glue. Let me show you it. Little bob of the glue there in the middle, and I'm just positioning my little leaves where I want them to be. And also, because it's the gel glue, you can angle it. So what I've done is I've sort of pushed down more at this end, so that when you'll see it, the glue will be fatter towards here than there, and it will give it a more an angle to the leaf, which I think will look really nice as well. I'm just trying to work out which bits I haven't done. Okay, so there it is. And let me just, I've got to be very careful because it's still wet, but let me just show you. You can see what I mean about there. Look, that leaf, it's sort of down more at the pointy end and a bit higher at there. And the same with this one, look, it's lower here than there. And you can just see in this light, it's just a subtle background with that white paint and the embossing powder. It just adds a little something. You can barely see it. It's not like super in your face. Same as actually the green. Okay, so I had completely finished the card and I'd finished the filming, and I was literally coming over to take this camera, but I saw this little pot with these little wood ladybirds in, and I just had this like little light bulb moment and thought, I wonder if one or two of these would look really cute on the card. So I used two of the little red ones and one green one, and I just attached it to the card using the glue gel, and this is what we got. And I think it finishes it off really nicely. I think it's really cute. It's quite subtle there with the green one, so it's not too heavy, but I think it just really adds that little something to it. I think it looked great without it, but I'm really pleased with it. So that is it. That is the card for this week. I hope you've enjoyed making it with me. I had fun putting this together. I quite like these cards where you kind of almost, you have a vague idea and you kind of sort of just like, oh, try that there, try that there. And so I hope you've enjoyed seeing that process with me and enjoyed making the card. If you did, I'd love it if you could like the video, you know, give it the old thumbs up. It all helps me with YouTube. Also, if you want to take a look at photographs of the finished card, then do use the link in the paragraph below this video. It will take you to the blog post, which will have a ton of photos of the finished card, so you get to see it all close up and everything. And also it has links to the products used as well. So I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.